These days, trusting someone, especially someone who quickly becomes overly friendly after just meeting, can be risky. Often, there's an ulterior motive behind such sudden closeness. It could be that the person simply wants to use you for their own gain. Gone are the days when people treated each other with genuine humanity. Today, we're discussing an incident where all boundaries were crossed for selfish reasons. Hello friends, how are you all doing? In this video, we're going to talk about the Payal Bhatti and Hema Chowdhary case. This case originates in the Gautam Buddh Nagar district of Uttar Pradesh, near Delhi NCR. In Greater Noida's Surajpur area, there was a house in the Suna Wali Gully owned by a man named Pradeep Taylor. A woman named Hema Chowdhary lived here with her family as a tenant. Hema was married and had a 7-year-old son. She lived with her mother, sister, and her child. This happened around the year 2022. Hema worked at a store called Van Heusen in the Gauss City Mall, Greater Noida West. The mall was around 1.5 kilometers from her house. Every day, she would leave for work in the morning and return home by night. On the night of the 12th of November, 2022, things took a strange turn. Hema usually returned by 10 p.m., but that night she was delayed. Around 10 p.m., she texted her sister Mantish, "I'll be a little late. Don't sleep. Please keep the gate open." After that, her sister began waiting for her, but Hema didn't show up even after midnight. Around 1 a.m., worried, Mantish started calling her, but the phone was mysteriously switched off. This made her more anxious. She tried contacting Hema's co-workers and friends. Everyone claimed she had left the mall after her shift around 10 p.m. As the night passed and morning came on the 13th of November, Hema still hadn't returned. The family was now very worried. Her mother found out and joined the search. They called relatives and went to the mall to inquire, but no one had seen her. Hema's 7-year-old son also began crying, asking about his mother. The family tried to comfort him by saying she was away for work and would return soon. After 2 days of searching with no results, the family reached out to the police. On the 15th of November, Mantesh submitted a written complaint at the Baisrak police station, providing full details: Hema's height, clothing, work schedule, and how she went missing. The police took the matter seriously and started investigating. Originally from Sadabad in the Athraz district, Hema was well educated and had dreams of studying further, but her family arranged her marriage early. In 2012, she married Vishnu Chowdhary from Mathura. Initially, the marriage was fine, but things deteriorated. She faced domestic abuse and left her husband in 2014 while pregnant. She moved back to her maternal home. After giving birth to her son and facing increasing responsibilities, Hema moved to Greater Noida for work and got a job at Gauss City Mall. She also brought her mother, sister, and child to live with her in Surajpur. Life was going smoothly until that fateful night of the 12th of November. She had completed her shift, but instead of heading home, she messaged that she would be late. Police started checking her phone records and tracked her last known location. They also began reviewing CCTV footage from around the mall. Eventually, they found footage showing Hema leaving the mall around 10:30 p.m., riding pillion on a bike with a young man. The bike was heading toward the Dadri area of Noida and appeared to be a Yamaha FZ. Her call detail record showed that on the day she went missing, she had multiple calls with one particular number. The final call she made was around 11 p.m. to that same number. So who owned that number? The police traced it to a man named Ajay Kumar Thakur. When they asked Hema's family about him, they said they had never heard of anyone by that name. When the police retrieved Hema's old call records, they discovered that she had only recently been in contact with Ajay, just for about a week. Could Hema have been the same woman seen riding pillion on the motorcycle that night? Even if that were true, the last call from Hema's phone had been made to Ajay, suggesting they were together at that time. But why would she call him if they were already together? Tracking Hema's last known location led the police to Bapur village, under Dadri police station near Greater Noida, where her phone was switched off. Interestingly, Ajay's phone location also matched this area during the same time frame, indicating he was with her. The man seen on the FZ bike in CCTV footage was indeed identified as Ajay Thakur. However, reaching this conclusion took several days. It was just the beginning of what would become a complex investigation. A team from Baisrak police station then arrived at Bapur village to investigate. After questioning local residents, they found that nobody had seen or heard of Hema Chowdhary. But when they inquired about Ajay Thakur, they stumbled upon a chilling story involving a woman named Pyle Botti, who had lived in the village. Pyle was said to have been Ajay's lover since around 2020. A note she reportedly wrote before taking her own life stated that she had suffered severe burns from hot oil, disfiguring her face. She felt society would no longer accept her, so she chose to end her life by cutting her wrist. The note was signed with her name, Pyle Botti Gujo. However, her family never informed the police about the incident. Instead, they quickly performed her last rites and even completed the 13th-day ritual on November 21st. Further investigation revealed that Pyle had been depressed for some time. Her grandfather claimed she wanted to marry Ajay, but her family was arranging her marriage elsewhere, adding to her distress. Moreover, her parents, Ravindra Kumar and Rakesh Devi, had consumed poison and died by suicide on May 17, 2022. This series of tragedies pushed Pyle deeper into despair. On the night of November 12th, she allegedly ended her life, and that same night, Hema also disappeared. Ajay Thakur, originally from a Parajia area under Secunderabad police station in Bulandshahr district, was revealed to be already married with 2 children. While his family lived in the village, Ajay worked for a private company in Noida. He had also gone missing after November 12th. Believing he might have been murdered in Noida, his family filed a report at the Secunderabad police station on November 14th. However, no evidence of foul play was found, so a missing persons report was filed instead. Hema's missing report was filed on November 15th. Given Ajay's marital status, his connection with Hema became even more questionable. What was their relationship? Where had he taken her? Even Ajay's family had no idea who Hema was. With numerous unanswered questions, the police intensified their efforts. Informants were activated, and Ajay's phone activity was closely monitored. His location data suggested he was constantly moving, indicating he was alive. Over the next 2 weeks, various leads came through informants, but Ajay always managed to escape just in time. Eventually, police tracked him to Bisa colony near Budchoraha in Bulandshahr, but by the time they arrived, he had fled again. One of Ajay's recent acquaintances was identified, and police used him to set a trap. On December 1, 2022, based on a tip-off, police set up a roadblock at Cha Maitigola Chaka Road in Greater Noida and began checking vehicles. That very day, Ajay Thakur was caught while riding his FZ bike, with a girl riding behind him. But the woman wasn't Hema Chowdhary. She appeared to be someone else entirely. When brought to Baishrak police station, the woman identified herself as Pyle Botti Gujar, the same girl who was thought to have died and been cremated. This shocking revelation stunned both the police and Pyle's family. Who, then, had been cremated? What were they hiding? And most importantly, where was Hema Chowdhary? Ajay refused to speak, but Pyle began to tell everything. She lived in Bapura village with her parents and 2 brothers. She had a joyful life and was very close to her parents. Her father, Ravindra Kumar, worked in media. According to reports, she was the only daughter, and her brother Arun was of marriageable age. Her family was planning his wedding at the time. Due to the financial strain caused by the lockdown, Pyle's family found it difficult to afford her wedding expenses. At this time, a relative named Sunil stepped in. He was a cousin of Pyle, the son of her aunt. Sunil had previously acted as a mediator in the marriage of Pyle's brother Arun, and even provided the family with a loan of several lakhs to manage the wedding costs. Arun was married to a girl named Swati. Initially, the family was happy and peaceful, but things began to deteriorate after the marriage. Sunil started pressuring Pyle's parents to repay the loan urgently. Despite requesting more time, they were subjected to constant humiliation and threats by Sunil. Meanwhile, Swati, the daughter-in-law, began falsely accusing her father-in-law, Pyle's father, of inappropriate behavior and even threatened to file a fake assault case. This mental stress took a heavy toll on Pyle's parents. Unable to cope with the trauma and public humiliation, both consumed poison on May 17, 2022, ending their lives. The shocking incident left Pyle and her brother devastated. Although Pyle didn't cry or talk to anyone after the tragedy, many assumed she was in shock. Soon, both siblings found a letter written by their parents detailing the reasons for their suicide, constant pressure from the debt and the false accusations by their daughter-in-law. Based on this letter, Arun and Pyle filed a case under IPC Section 306 at Dadra Police Station, accusing 4 individuals, cousins Sunil, Swati, Arun's wife, and her two brothers, Kaska and Golu. They claimed these four were responsible for mentally harassing their parents, leading them to end their lives. While the police sent a suicide note and poison samples for forensic analysis, no major action was taken. The four accused were granted anticipatory bail. Pyle believed these four were directly responsible for her parents' deaths. She fell into deep depression and even attempted to take her own life, but was rescued and hospitalized in time. After surviving, she resolved to take justice into her own hands, having lost faith in the legal system. She began planning revenge. Watching crime documentaries, TV serials, and news reports, she educated herself on how such acts were carried out. She shared her plan with her boyfriend, Ajay Bhatti, telling him she would marry him if he supported her revenge. Blinded by love, Ajay agreed. Pyle decided to fake her own death so that suspicion wouldn't fall on her when she executed her plan. To do this, she needed a girl who looked just like her. She and Ajay searched for girls with similar features and body types. She attempted to target 3 such girls but failed each time. Desperate, Pyle turned to social media, even considering hiring call girls, someone who could be lured with money to her village and made to pose as her. She shortlisted 18 such women and offered them money through Ajay. Some were offered up to 50,000 Indian rupees. But none agreed to travel to a rural area. They demanded meetings in big cities or hotels. Then, in early November 2022, Ajay visited Gao City Mall to meet a friend and spotted a woman named Hema Chowdhary, who looked exactly like Pyle. Realizing the potential, he immediately contacted Pyle and asked her to come to the mall. Upon seeing Hema, Pyle confirmed she was the perfect candidate. Ajay started befriending Hema and, during conversations, learned about her personal life. She was a single mother of a 7-year-old boy and was working hard to secure a better future for him. Despite knowing her circumstances, Ajay continued manipulating her emotionally. Eventually, he introduced Hema to Pyle, telling her they were soon to be married. Hema, in need of financial help, was told that Ajay would support her. Ajay made multiple attempts to win Hema's trust. He even introduced her to Pyle, saying that they were planning to get married soon. Hema felt like she had found 2 good friends, while Ajay and Pyle saw her as their next target. Pyle selected November 12th as the day for the maida. Ajay traveled from Bulandshahr to give Pyle 20 sleeping pills as part of their plan. Meanwhile, he had also started speaking to Hema over the phone more frequently. After discussing with Pyle, Ajay called Hema and told her that after her duty on November 12th, she should come over to Pyle's place. Whether he called her for a casual dinner or to return a borrowed item is unclear, but the reason seemed convincing enough for Hema to agree. That night, Pyle crushed the sleeping pills and mixed them into dough to make puris. She did this deliberately so she could fake being unwell later. She even fed the same puris to the tenants and guests in her house to make sure everyone was in deep sleep. Around 11 p.m., Ajay brought Hema to Pyle's house on his bike. By then, everyone in the house had already fallen asleep. Pyle greeted Hema warmly. Then Ajay took her to the terrace, and shortly after, Pyle followed them with a knife. As soon as she arrived, Ajay held Hema tightly, and Pyle slit her throat. Hema collapsed in a corner of the terrace. Pyle then slashed her wrist, the same spot where she had previously self-harmed when her parents had passed away. This location was chosen intentionally to create the illusion that the victim was Pyle. To further the deception, Pyle poured hot oil on Hema's face and neck to disfigure her and erase the stab wounds. She had already prepared a suicide note and placed it where it could be easily found. After changing clothes, she dressed Hema in her own outfit and jewelry to complete the identity switch. Then she took Hema's clothes and belongings and left with Ajay on his bike. The next morning, when Pyle's family found the body, they believed it was their daughter's. Her face was burned and unrecognizable, but the clothing and belongings pointed to her. Without informing the police, Hema's clothes were dumped near a local drain, but her purse and some other items were kept by the culprits. Now, you may wonder, why did Hema make a call to Ajay when she was with him? The truth is, by that time, Hema was already dead. Ajay had dropped his phone in the dark and couldn't find it, so he used Hema's phone to call his own and locate it. While riding the bike earlier, Hema had messaged her sister saying she would be late coming home. After the murder, Ajay and Pyle escaped to Bisa Colony and rented a room. With the first part of their plan done, their next target was even bigger, eliminating 4 more people. Pyle even bought a country-made pistol and cartridges for the task. On November 27th, she and Ajay got married at the Arya Samaj temple in Greater Noida. However, Pyle was unaware that Ajay was already married with 2 children and had lied about his caste and identity. Based on the couple's information, police recovered Hema's watch, 2 mobile phones, her purse, clothes, hair clip, the murder weapon, knife, the gun, cartridges, their marriage certificate, and the motorcycle used in the crime. They also found a register and pen Pyle used to practice writing suicide notes. The police recreated the entire crime scene for forensic analysis. Blood samples and hair were discovered near the staircase at Pyle's house, confirming it as the murder location. It was also revealed that Ajay and Pyle had surveyed the home of Pyle's cousin Sunil in Greater Noida multiple times, planning to murder him and others. But before they could execute the rest of their plan, police apprehended them. Pyle had planned to kill 5 people in total, with Ajay being the final one, because he had deceived her into marriage by hiding his past. After all the murders, Pyle wanted to join the army and was preparing to apply again. Had police delayed their investigation, 5 lives would have been lost. In her defense, Pyle claimed that if the legal system had punished the guilty earlier, Hema wouldn't have died, and she wouldn't have been forced to take such extreme steps. Hema's family, however, demands strict punishment for her murderers. So that wraps up this chilling case. Let us know in the comments what you think of the story. Don't forget to like and share the video. Subscribe to our channel and turn on the bell icon for updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.